What the fuck?
Here we go. It begins.
What begins?
The cold sweats, the heart palpitations, the feelings are coming up.
Why is that enjoyable?
Why is it not enjoyable? Fucking hell, you mad? Boots, cats, boots. Cardio time. Gonna be starting on 200 calories of cardio per day on this 8-week cut on the Stairmaster. Abs every other day. Get yourself a cardio gym and a cardio set of headphones. Solos. Stay there. I got the Solos for my cardio headphones and David Lloyd for my cardio gym. King's Gym is my training gym and the studios are my training headphones. Abs every other day. I tend to be on the side of increasing expenditure instead of dropping food. I find that when I start dropping food too early in a cut, the training performance gets negatively affected. So I think we'll be okay on 200 calories of cardio most days, increasing it towards the end, seeing how we get on in terms of scale weight and body composition. Okay, all right, let's start this cut off, shall we? 2,700 calories on a training day. We'll be going for 200 grams of protein, 350 grams of carbohydrates and 55 grams of fat, and then on my non-training days I'll just pull off about 50 grams of carbs. Probably pull them down to about 300 depending on how we are on the day. Generally on a rest day I tend to prolong my first meal, so I extend my fast between my last meal on a training day and my first meal on a rest day. So we'll go for 300 carb on a rest day. If it's slightly under, then so be it. So back to the same meal plan that we were using on prep. Open up the day with an egg meal, bagel, oats. Second meal, mince and rice. Third meal, chicken and pasta. And then end the day on some oats and half a bagel with some peanut butter to get my fats in. And then all I do throughout the duration of that 8-week cut is pull food away from those meals. So one bagel becomes half a bagel, then half a bagel becomes maybe 2 slices of the high-low bread, the reduced carb bread. Might pull oats down from 50 to 25, for example. Pull rice down from 250 to 125. And then this meal is being consumed 2 hours after we had the yihimbine about 20 past 8, cardio, just so that we don't negate the effects of the yihimbine too early. I like to extend that period of time, have my meal number 1 and then let this digest. Do some work for an hour and a half to 2 hours, then we'll have the pre-workout meal and go and train upper today. Pre-workout today, 1 full scoop of Vascumax. I'm going between Vascumax and Komodo Pump, 2 fantastic pump formulas. The Vascumax more so for the pump side of things, Komodo because you have the cognitive enhancement ingredients in there as well. I tend to go between the 2, and then for my stimulant at the moment I'm very much enjoying Superhuman, going between that and then V-Pre. The combination of the cherry cola and the juicy fruit from the Superhuman is fantastic. These tees are looking filthy. Fuck your anabolic clothing. It's all about presidential clothing. I'm only joking, I like JP. But there's a new king in town in the clothing game. Off the train now, and in terms of the split at the moment, it's slightly modified during the next 8 weeks, taking out the quads and delts and hams and back sessions and just gone for upper lower rest, push pull legs rest, and then take an additional day after that cycle if needed. Oh, I've got the feels. Ibiza, 8 weeks. What up with it? Absolutely shocking session today. Not only because of my right shoulder causing problems due to the tightness in my chest and all the shit underneath my shoulder blade, but as soon as I drop into a deficit, I don't know if anyone else is like this, my pushing movements become quite severely affected. Every time I dip down into a deficit, whether it's contest prep or a cut for a holiday, pushing movements just become affected. More so chest and shoulder Josh will know as well when I train with Josh, when we get a couple of sets into a push session, for example, my chest is fatigued. So with that in mind, my primary concern is just holding the weights on this top set, and then with my back off sets for chest movements, just opt for a higher rep range and see if we can progress there. But pulling movements, all good. I can generally progress my pulling movements even when in a deficit and manipulate some rep ranges for certain movements, but pushing, negative. In terms of my shoulder problem, I see Lauren every fortnight, but what I find is the first week that I see her and we get work done on the shoulder, the chest and the subscap and everything underneath it is cool. That block of training that week is fine. Then the second week, when it starts to creep back in, regardless of me doing my exercises, it starts to cause me more ag. So this particular week and last week I saw it every single week. Grabbed a tennis ball, and what I've been doing is putting my hand behind my back, lying on my back on the floor and getting the tennis ball right underneath my shoulder blade, and it is working like a treat. This week has been fantastic. Bar this session, I actually went and saw Lauren after this session. But apart from that, it's fantastic. What it is like, with this chest tightness, it's like almost internally rotating my shoulder, and I'm walking around with this like hunchback of Notre Dame right trap. So we've worked on it and it's good. It's fingers crossed it's a lot better. But this particular session was utter dog shite. One of those sessions you just have to get in and get it done, to be honest with you. I generally like my push sessions as well, just because shoulder's my favourite body part to train. But in terms of what we'll be doing over the next 7 to 8 weeks, I think I mentioned it in the car as well, taking off that quads and delt session and the hamstrings and back session, and just sticking with the upper lower rest, push pull legs, rest. And if I need to take an additional day, whether that's because recovery's poor or I'm still fatigued, then I'll do it. And in terms of progressive movements, I find that to probably be a little bit more effective in this deficit than when we was in the off season. And then I don't know what we'll be doing when I jump back on board with Callum. But this particular movement, I don't know if anyone saw that. I get that quite a lot in terms of setting that up, and it's with the bench on the slight incline. So again, stabilising the humerus with the arm blaster behind. So just at the bottom of the tricep almost. It's always easier if you're training with a partner, because you can get the arm blaster positioned and then get your training partner to chuck the dumbbells. What I do is I just put the dumbbells on my legs, so they're balanced on my legs, and then get the arm blaster sitting just on around about my lumbar, and then I'm driving my humerus from there. But it's a fantastic bicep movement. I know quite a lot of you are doing the D handle curls as well, which has been fantastic. But there we go. In terms of my current condition, I'll be doing another video in depth on the last 9 weeks, because the small gaining phase that we jumped into was meant to be a 12-week. But just with timings and that, I wanted to have a nice 8-week cut for Ibiza, and elongating that cut, we don't have to go as drastic to obtain the condition that I want. So of that weight that we gained in 9 weeks, and if you follow my Instagram, I went over the DEXA scan results. I think it was about like 2.7 kilos of fat mass and 1.5 of lean tissue. So the goal now is obviously to strip back on that fat and maintain as much as possible the tissue we've gained. And with regard to anabolic usage, just keeping the same dose, 100 mg of the Moldovan Pharma test. But 8 weeks, looking forward to it. You know what the macros are, I've just gone through on this video, but it should be a blast. I'm very excited for this one with the boys. Post-workout meal, we'll cook up the full pack of the organic 5% mince from Sainsbury's, and then I need to go to Tesco's to get the blueberry oats, and to stop using 2 lots of 125 and just get the 250 gram packets. Post-workout meal going inside me. 250 grams of basmati rice, 200 grams of 5% organic mincemeat, and a few tomatoes. On top of that, tomatoes, tomato ketchup, 50% less sugar, less salt. Good morning. Good morning. Off to Bromley before fasted cardio. I had 10 mega Yohimbine today in a black coffee. And I can feel it. Off to Bromley to get a sweat belt. As you know, I'm a fan of utilising sweat belts when doing cardio. And then when I get to the stage, you know, a couple of weeks before a contest prep or an end goal for a specific composition that I'm looking for, I'll add in some topical Yohimbine as well. I think we've got some Vasoburn Insight, so I'll be using that. And also a tennis ball, because I found yesterday with this shoulder problem, and I put my arm behind my back and got right inside that shoulder blade with a ball. It helps, so I'm going to go and get those things. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the sweat belt that I get. Opti. No affiliation to this brand. Just my other pink one was a bit worn out. So we've got a new one. Oh, very nice. This seems a little larger than the other one in terms of width. Covers more area of your abs, more shredded. Right, 200 calories on the Stairmaster, and then a few steps as well to bump my steps up. So cardio and steps are different. 200 calories of cardio, different. Then we jump on the treadmill just to bring up the steps. I like to get in the expenditure, or as much expenditure, early in the day as possible. And then if I have like a couple hundred steps to hit in the evening time, then after my dinner, I'll just walk around the block just to hit them 8,000 for the day. A sign of a good sleep, that, lying. Today is Saturday, a couple of days into the cut. It's a rest day today. So had a nice sleep, slightly extended compared to my usual 8 hour. I think it clocked in at about 9.5. Off to film some promo stuff for the TMC Season 1 clothing. So I'm going to go back to Lucian Forest still, my old stomping ground, just to get some footage, and then maybe cinema later on tonight. I was on number 6. This is where I live. This is like my earliest memories. I say like a nuclear family now is like mum and dad split up, innit? I'll wait till this car goes. What's happening? We're filming as well. How weird is that?
Sorry to interrupt.
That's alright, it's alright.
You're a legend, mate.
Thank you. That's so mad. We're filming for my for the t-shirts.
I'm buying one.
Just going around like where I used to live in that. So.
Oh, I literally live on this road.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I used to live in. That's fantastic. He just messaged me on email and said, "Tom, I'm sorry for interrupting your film." And I said, "Hey, Alex from Glasgow, don't apologise because you just made me look really famous in my documentary. So thanks for that." Anyway, I've got to leave the video there. I had my initial sort of kilo to 1.5 kilo weight drop when I dropped my carbohydrates down or go into my deficit, and then now we're just looking for that sort of 0.3 to 0.4 key drop per week. In terms of the t-shirts, I think I've dramatically underbought them. Seems that the feedback is quite large, which is fantastic. So what I'll do is when they initially go out, in 7 to 10 days time, I reckon, just because the final piece of the puzzle is the custom TMC mailbags. So once they're here, we can put them up on the website and get them shipped out. But then I'll contact the manufacturers straight away and just put another run in, which should then be about 14 days time. So there we go. They're sitting there right now. I do apologise for the wait, but hopefully it will be all worth it. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there and crack on. I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you, good night. Much love.